Okay, now we get to the fun stuff. This is where we actually learn how to multiply matrices. So we're not just talking about dimensions anymore, we're actually talking about the multiplication of matrices themselves. So let's begin the conversation with dimensions, and then we will jump into what's really about to happen with the operations themselves. I do want to point out that I am going to use a pencil, and I'm going to write very lightly with this pencil, and in doing so, I'll be able to erase whatever I don't need. You'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. So let's begin with a brief conversation about the fact that this is a 2 by 1 and this is a 1 by 3, and because the ones in the middle cancel, I'm going to have a 2 by 3. So that's what I have here. 2 rows, 3 columns. All right, and so this is the problem. This is where I'll do my work, and this is going to be my final answer. Let's move on. Okay, I want to know what goes in the top row, left column. So I want to know what goes right here. Therefore, I'm going to circle my top row and my left column. I'm doing it very lightly because, well, I'm going to have to erase a lot. And I'm going to multiply these things together. Top row, left column. So 3 times 1. And I will write that in blue ink. 3 times 1. Okay. I know we have been looking at this and we've been saying, oh, that's 3 by 1. So no, this is 3 times 1. Actually, just so it doesn't start looking like dimensions, I'm going to say it's 3 times 1, and I'll use parentheses. I think it'll make it a little bit clearer. Okay, if I want to know what goes right here, I'm pointing at the top row, middle column. So why don't I circle the top row, and then I'll circle the middle column. Okay, so I'm going to put right here 3 times negative 2. 3 times negative 2. Now, I know what 3 times 1 is. It's 3. We're going to put that here in a minute. I know what 3 times negative 2 is. It's negative 6. It's going to go right there. I get it. You get it. We're good. But I want us to understand the process. Okay, if I want to know what goes right here, then I would multiply the top by the far right, because this is top row, far right. So why don't we circle top row, far right? And top row, far right would be 3 times 5. That's 15. I know it's 15. You know it's 15. But I want us to understand the process. Let's not worry about, hey, I know what 3 times 5 is. Of course you know what 3 times 5 is. Okay, if I wanted to know what goes here, bottom left, let's circle go with the rows first. Bottom left. There it is. Bottom left. That would be 2 times 1. Okay, if I want to know what goes here, that is, I'm always going to say row first, and then I'm going to say column. So this is my bottom row, middle column. This is row 2, column 2. So I'm going to circle row 2, column 2. So I don't need this one anymore. So 2 times negative 2. There we go. All right, we're down to this one. This is, say the row first. Second row, bottom row, right column, third column. So bottom row, right column. Circle the bottom row, circle the right column. Now in this case, the rows and the columns only have one number in them each, which is going to make this one easier. So 2 times 5. So what we have is the final answer, and it is 3 times 1, 3. 3 times negative 2, negative 6. 3 times 5, 15. 2 times 1, 2 times negative 2. Whoa, almost wrote the wrong thing, negative 4. 2 times 5, there we go. We have multiplied matrices together. Let's do the next one, and this one's going to be a little bit trickier. So let's start with the dimensions. That's already kind of set up for you, but we're going to have a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 1. And then because these middle numbers are the same, my final answer is a 2 by 1. And this is where I'll do my work, and this is where I'll put my final answer. All right, so let's do it. There are only 2 elements or numbers or entries, call it what you want, in this matrix, my answer matrix, my solution matrix. Only 2 of them. One of them is up here, the other one is down here. So let's just talk about that. This answer, whatever this becomes, is my top row, say the row first, top row, and it's my only column, okay? So now we have circled more numbers, and things are going to get a little bit trickier. So we're going to have to go in order. And when I say go in order, we're going to go like first and then second and then third, and we're going to go from there. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. We have to point strategically. First number here is a 4. First number here is a 3. 4 times 3. 4 times 3. Okay, let's move our fingers. Now we're moving from the first to the second and the second. 6 and 2, well, sorry, negative 6 and negative 2. So we're going to add negative 6 times negative 2. So we multiply those, and we add them together. So what we really are doing is going to take 4 times 3, that's 12. Let's use a pencil, lightly. And then negative 6 times negative 2, that's 12. And we're going to add those together, so we have 24. Now, this may not make sense as to why we do this. When I first saw matrix multiplication, I thought, why don't we just multiply like we did with adding and subtracting? When you see a word problem, hopefully it'll kind of click and we realize why we do what we do. Okay, I have half my answer. Let's get the other half. The other half is going to come from right here. Right here is going to be my bottom row. And my only column. Okay. 8 and 3. Well, negative 8 and 3. So negative 8 times 3. I'm pointing at the first number in each one. And then we go to the second number in each one. 1 and negative 2. So add 1 times negative 2. And we'll figure that out. So negative 24 plus negative 2. Negative 24 plus negative 2 is negative 26. Okay, at this point you're like, is there a shortcut? And can I use that desmos.com/matrix? Yes, you can. There may be times where it's not convenient, but yes, you can. So, and we will eventually. But at the moment, I do want you to see the process so it'll kind of make sense when we get to the word problem, which is where this stuff really does become practical. So let me just say it one more time. If you use desmos.com/matrix, then what you really would do is you'd say, oh, this is A, this is B, and we'll just do A times B, and it'll crank out an answer. And it's pretty quick and pretty efficient, and I like it. But we're doing it by hand first, so we understand the process, and because doing it by hand also gives us the opportunity to do different types of problems that the computer can't do. Okay, let's do one more. And I'm going to go a little bit faster on this one. And this is a 2 by 2. And this is a 2 by 3, which means I have a 2 by 3 in my final answer. So again, 2 by 2, 2 by 3, and because those in the middle cancel out, my final answer is 2 rows, 3 columns. And this one's going to take a minute, so let's go. I say a minute. It's going to take longer than a minute, but let's go fast. Top row, left column. Say the row first. Top row, left column is, and then we're going to go one number at a time. 3 times 4 plus 2 times negative 1. 3 times 4 plus 2 times negative 1. Okay, you can figure that out in a minute. That's not the point. Then we're going to go, well, wherever you want to go. Let's suppose you want to go right here. This place, this spot right here, is the top row, middle column. So top row, middle column. Okay, 3 times 5 plus 2 times 6. All right, then we get to, let's erase. I told you there's a lot of erasing. I used to give my students little matrix multipliers, and what we do is we take them and we'd slide them across, and we would circle rows and circle columns. It was great. And you're probably like, why don't you do that anymore? Because we can do this online now. And so I'm not going to print out a whole bunch of stuff when we're going to very quickly transition to doing some of this stuff online. I just want us to see the process. So this one right here, is the top row, right column. Circle the top row, circle the right column, and go one number at a time. 3 times negative 2 plus 2 times negative 3. Okay? All right, now we will do these down here. And you can pick any one you like. I'm actually going to pick this one so I don't have to erase too much. So if I started here on the bottom, then I would be in the bottom row. Oh, we've circled the wrong row then. Bottom row, right column. So bottom row, right column. Second row, third column. You could think of it that way. So 1 times negative 2. Look at the first numbers and then look at the second numbers. Negative 8 and negative 3. So plus negative 8 times negative 3. We'll figure out what that is in a minute. All right, let's just keep moving. You can do whichever one you want. I'll move backwards. So we'll go to the middle column. Bottom row, got it. Middle column, that's it right there. Not this one. It's handy to use a pencil sometimes. Okay, bottom row, middle column, 1 times 5 plus negative 8 times 6. Okay. Last one is bottom row, left column. Bottom row, left column. So we're not in the middle column anymore. One times 4 plus negative 8 times negative 1. Okay, and now we just have a whole lot of math to do. And I'm going to do a lot of stuff in my head, but we can do this. So 12 minus 2 is 10. 15 plus 12, 27. Negative 6 plus negative 6, negative 12. 4 plus negative times negative is positive, 8. 4 plus 8, 12. 5 plus negative 48. So 5 minus 48 is negative 43. Negative 2 plus, multiply 2 negatives, you get a positive. So negative 2 plus 24, 22. Again, if you want to use desmos.com/matrix, that's cool. I'm going to write that down. So desmos.com/matrix. That's fine, and it cranks it out for you. But let's make sure we understand the process, because when we get to the word problem in the next video, you'll see why. So if you want to use that, you can. And here's how you'd do it. You'd say this is A, this is B, and you'd do A times B, and it'll crank it out for you.